What's going on, guys? Brent0331. Many of you asked for it, so I'm going to give you a little tour of my man cave. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, so starting off behind the bar. So if you watch my channel, you probably already know that I'm very big into demilitarized weapons. And I also collect replica and also real weapons. Typically what I do is if I can't get a demilitarized version of a weapon, I'll get a replica. Like a real nice airsoft variant of it. Just to have some sort of prop to put in my man cave. So here I have a real demilitarized M20A1B1 Super Bazooka. And then over here, I've got a replica Thompson submachine gun, MP40. Got a replica RPG-7 up there. I've got a PPS H41, as well as a grease gun. Alright, so over here I got a foosball table. Above that I got a demilitarized RPG-2. And then over here I have a replica of an SVD. And attached to that SVD is a real Chinese copy of the PSO-1 scope. Alright guys, so this is my mortar corner. And here I have a Yugoslavian 82mm demilitarized mortar. And I got it complete with 82mm Chi-Com mortars here. Also have 81mm American practice mortar. One of my latest additions, and I'm still working on it, still a work in progress here. But this, my friends, is an 84mm Carl Gustav recoilless rifle. So it's in pretty rough condition. So hopefully I can fix this up a little bit. I'd like to pick up a scope. I'm missing the balls for the end of the latch here, and other than that, it just needs to be touched up a little bit. The grips are a little, beat down, but nonetheless, very cool, guys. Actual Carl Gustav launcher, demilitarized. And right above the mortar, I have a replica M60, as well as a replica of a BAR. Alright guys, that brings me to my first mannequin here. So I've got a Marine outfitted with a standard uniform and equipment of a Marine, let's say hitting the beaches of Iwo Jima during World War II. You got your typical M1 helmet, your standard rifleman web gear, as well as a rubber duck version of an M1 Garand on the shoulder. And then above here I got a replica of an M79. I've got a Czech RPG-75, got an expended AT-4 tube, and then this right here is my little personal library. So if you spend time in the Marine Corps, throughout your career, you accumulate, a lot of pubs and manuals and stuff like that. So this is primarily, mostly training manuals, pubs, and all that type of stuff. So let's move on. All right, so this is my next mannequin. He is set up for early war Vietnam era Marine. So he's got the standard equipment that a Marine of that era would have worn. I've also set him up so that he's more of a machine gun team, like an assistant gunner or whatnot, because he's got extra ammo, bandoliers, and on his shoulder is a rubber duck version of an M14 rifle. Alright guys, so this is the first display case that I'm going to talk about, and I just got a few things in here. This is actually a mixture of my first and second deployments to Iraq. Down here in the bottom right is captured Iraqi Army stuff that I picked up on the battlefields of OIF-1. So I've got a Iraqi Army beret in there. I've got a flag. I've got a backpack that I found, a gas mask. That's an Iraqi Army helmet that I found on the ground. And then over here are some camis that I wore during OIF-2, as well as my boots. I've got a few other miscellaneous things, such as some of the magazines I had. Up top here, I've got some Saddam money that I picked up or acquired at some point during my first deployment. This right here is the actual helmet I wore at the during my second deployment, and that's pretty much it for this display case. Up top is nothing special, just a small coin collection, replica of an M240 Bravo medium machine gun, and just some miscellaneous Marine Corps pictures. Alright guys, so the third mannequin I'm talking about, this guy I've outfitted to be wearing pretty much what I was wearing during the 2003 initial push into Iraq. So he's got a Woodland mob suit on, he's got a Woodland Interceptor, he's got a Molly 2 web gear set, he's got a Kevlar helmet with a tricolor desert camouflage cover, and these are the actual goggles I was wearing during that 2003 push. He's got an M40 gas mask, and if you want to know more or learn more about what I had during the 2003 invasion, I do have a video, a little old, but I put it together with the stuff that I had, and I go through and talk about what I wore and had during that particular time. So nonetheless, let's go ahead and move on. Alright guys, so my next two mannequins here, I have a Soviet soldier from the Cold War era, and I do collect a lot of the uniforms, gear, equipment, and weaponry from that time period. Big fan of it. And over here I have a late war United States Marine. A lot of people don't realize this, but around 68 and onward, frontline infantry Marines were issued ERDL camouflage pattern. And so that's what I got here, is this Marine is outfitted in that particular uniform and representative of what a Marine during that time period, late in the war, would have been wearing. Down below him is a PRC-25 radio, and then let me reorient the camera so I can talk about some other stuff here. Down below I have a demilitarized SG-43, got a Bren gun, also got a replica of a PK machine gun, as well as its corresponding tripod. Underneath there is a replica of a Panzerschreck. Back here I got Panzer Faust, I've got an RPG-7, and there's a 60mm Brent mortar back there. Alright guys, so up top here I got RPGs, VZ-26, got practice claymores and replica claymores, Russian Mon 50 claymores, RKJ-3 anti-tank grenades, and as you can see I just got a crap load of inert, practice, dummy, rockets, laws, RPG-22s, and whatnot. So all this sits on top of a display case that holds a bunch of uniform items and gear that I wore in Afghanistan, to include Kevlar uniform items, boots, boonies, covers, notes that I had during that particular time, and yeah. So this is essentially the Afghan display case. All right, so last mannequin I have here is a North Vietnamese Army regular during the Vietnam War. He's outfitted with a rubber duck SKS rifle. He's got Chinese stick grenades and corresponding Chinese-made web equipment. He's also got a canteen, a backpack on. I've got over his shoulder a demilitarized RPG-2 launcher, and he's got a pith helmet with a camouflage netting. He's also got a camouflage cape made out of an American camouflage parachute material, and this is very common amongst NVA and VC during that particular war. Alright guys, so up here is just some helmets and miscellaneous headgear that I've accumulated from over the years. I've got some World War II stuff, got some Cold War stuff, Soviets and North Vietnamese and whatnot. And then over here I've got some helmets, American helmets, pretty much starting from World War I to modern day. I don't have any of the Army stuff up there. I primarily focus on Marines, but go from doughboy style World War I helmet going all the way to Marine World War II and Korea, Vietnam, and modern day. I do not have the 3-color desert helmet up there because I got that on the mannequin. That's it guys, I hope you enjoyed this video tour of my man cave. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to leave a comment.